you a product.
That's interesting.
Let me give you a product that's good for you, that's healthy for you, or whatever other product. Let me sell you something that could be useful to you. And at the same time, I make profit. With that profit, I take it and I put it towards this radio
Let's
show.
rewind. What was I
It's a
talking
kind
about?
of a business, but
Forget about business and
it's
forget
not,
about
I don't
money.
think
Forget about Alex.
it wasn't designed for him to become a big
Let's
pyramid
focus on the
and,
bigger picture.
and have millions of dollars and
Forget
just give us
about-
a bunch of information.
You see, we digressed. We went from a high level of focus to a low level.
Perhaps.
We're focusing on the spot on the shirt instead of focusing on what's in the shirt. And that's how we're trained. Look at that. Your computer has a mind of its own. It's just doing things all by itself.
What I'm trying to say is that there's an opportunity.
Get away
here
from this. Get away.
to advance.
Reset.
I guess we're gonna have to reset often because we often
focus.
fall into the
Reset
pit.
your focus. It's all about man consciousness. When they say, now here I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you something pretty interesting, right? When these people that are working on the artists, the musicians, and all that, and all this and all that, and they're doing their one eye thing and one eye blinded,
right?
And masonry.
Yes, all the music
stuff.
videos and all the weird things that they do. That's all full satanic worship, and I don't even want to go into that right now because it's really demonic.
Now, do you want me to tell you? You want me to expose something? Yes or no?
I would love for you to give any piece of light to the world that can change somebody's life.
It's not about to give light to the world. It's to give information to you, for you to understand what it is. What they're saying, what they're really saying is they manipulate consciousness. That's their magic. To manipulate consciousness, you have to take what God created and make them see half blind. If you can half blind them, God's creations, because every human, when you imagine, you're trying to create something. Your imagination is trying. But imagine that billions of times. So if you can manipulate billions of times of people's imagination,
you're creating a new people.
Controlling
them.
Their
thoughts. Basically, you're controlling the whole thought process.
You can control,
you're enslaving them through thoughts.
Through media.
And through media, through the programming of media. Yes.
Programming. You just said it.
And any programming that's actually beneficial to you, they cut it out.
Programming consciousness, programming the future. That's what their magic is.
They are specialists. They hired the best of the best. They have the best of the best in the world working on this. So we know that.
I studied a lot, and I know now, and I can't explain it to people because I'm so far from what you are different.
The pieces you're throwing out right now.
You understand this.
You have to understand that even this little bit that you're able to throw out will help some humans on the planet. It will change their perspective of how they see things.
That's their magic.
So believe me when I tell you, even if you don't explain it 100%, you're doing awesome.
They're controlling consciousness. They're creating the future by manipulating consciousness because our dreams, our imagination creates the future and they control it through Hollywood programming.
100%.
That's how the Illuminati works.
Just before we continue, me and my friend were going to do a little cheers. And we say cheers in English. In my language, we say lechaim. And I believe in Hungarian, we say yehohegedre. Cheers to the world.
Cheers to
freedom.
Guys, whoever's watching.
This is actually one of the first reports that I've done. My friend is the first guest I've ever had on. And I don't know exactly how this report will turn out. So far, just between us, it's very interesting. I hope it's going to be very instructive to many people. The point of this is to enlighten you, to make you see that the life that you're living might not be really to the fullest. You might not be doing all that you can do. We need to find a way to pull people together from different walks of life, no matter where you are in the world. you do want to have a world. You want to have a future. You want to have children. You want them to grow up in a clean world, in a decent world. You don't want them to worry. You don't want them to be scared walking down the street. You definitely don't want them with chips in their brains and controlled by the globalists. We don't like the globalists because they only want to control us. We are sick of it. We don't have all the answers. We don't completely know how to break free from it. We know we're sick of it. Many people are. We're trying to get as many people together. So hopefully this will shed some light on a few subjects or a few questions you might have had. And hopefully my friend here and I could have helped out in that process. And that would be the most gratifying thing in the world to know that even if one human that listened to us was capable of changing that perception in his mind and imagining a greater world, because we know that everything starts in here. Your capability, what you're imagining, is what you're going to design as a future. So if we can bring that imagination to a higher level, the whole humanity will come up to a higher level. But it's not an easy task. We know that, and that's why it's a constant battle, and we must continue. As much as we can, we got to use the resources we have. I really appreciate you being here and putting in the input.
Put out your first report, see what happens.
We'll see what happens. It's a long ways from being a professional report. It's basically basic people that live in a, you know, we're not rich. We don't want to be slaves to the system, but we were. Because even since I was a child, I've always watched television and mainstream media. So there's a lot of programming that went into my system.
I need another coffee.
What do you? Okay, we're back. Sorry for that cutoff. We had to refill on some of our coffee. Awesome. We were just doing some background music videos there. We were listening to some orchestra music. It always makes the
National Symphony
soul
Orchestra
feel so good.
Star Trek melody.
Star Trek is one of my favorites. Superman is one of my favorites. You know, I know they're all part of this controlled Hollywood stuff. But I gotta admit, there's actually 2-3 music orchestras from the movies that actually I find inspire people. If the message that goes with it is actually awesome. Like the Superman song, I love it. It's I feel so inspired when I hear it. I wake up in the morning, I hear the Superman song, I feel like, wow, I want to save the world.
Motivates you.
The one thing I find that's also awesome in it, there's no words. So there's no contamination. They're playing music. I don't get any bad words. There's no kill this, rape that, destroy here, take control over there. None of the garbage that's associated with the regular music that we hear today.
No words introduced.
No words introduced. It's just pure music, so it touches your soul. It gets to the essence of your being. So we're back. We only cut off for a very short time. It wasn't intentional. We just didn't want to show you guys that we're making some coffee while we're waiting. Our studios are not the most up-to-date studios. It's a small office in a home. Eventually, we're hoping Infowars might actually send a little crew down, maybe get us set up a little differently. We'll see how we do. For now, we'll continue this way. So you'll have to excuse the unprofessionalism sometimes. But we are talking about serious issues, and the words that we speak are the truth. We have nothing to gain from any garbage, fakeness. We don't want it. If you're a vampire, run away, because we are the vampire hunters. We will not be enslaved. We want to be free. Freedom means a lot of things to a lot of people, but free speech, being able to decide how you want to raise your kids, being able to decide what kind of friends you want to have, the kind of relations you want to have, this is part of humanity. We need to go beyond this monkey level. We need to be able to
raise the
free.
consciousness.
We need to raise the consciousness. Like my friend says here, this is so important. People have to realize we can't continue this way.
That is the trap.
If we keep doing what we're doing and we keep going in the direction we're going,
destruction.
we're going into the pit.
Guaranteed
Ladies and gentlemen,
destruction.
wake up. We can't do this no more.
Guaranteed repeat of the cycle.
And that doesn't mean go nuts. And it doesn't mean start running around in the streets and start screaming and yelling, oh my God, I need to do... No, it means talk to your neighbors. You meet somebody down the street, speak to him. See his point of view. If you see he's sucked into this media garbage, that the propaganda, and you see that the globalists are sinking their vampiric teeth into him, help him. Give him the remedy to get out of it. Help him get out of it. Give him some tools. Give him some links to videos. Oh, by the way, this is Lucky. This is, in my opinion, the greatest dog in the world.
Who's that?
He's a pit bull, but he's the most awesome mooch. If you guys would see him live, I promise you, he would kiss you all day long. This Poochie has nothing but love. God gave me the greatest animal I could ever hope to ask for. Like, this creature has an amazing soul. He's so good to other animals, to people, to children. I've never seen a pit bull behave so amazingly. And I'm sure many people will tell me, I have a pit bull too, and he's so awesome. Thank God. Thank God for good animals, good friends, good family, good planet. He gave us everything we need. Let's stop shitting on the world, and the people that are crapping on the world and that are trying to enslave us, we need to do something about it. It's enough. You go to work every day, you have your family, you have enough things to worry about. The last thing you need is, while you're so busy with your life that you have no time to look at the little details, and that's what the globalists, they sink their teeth in. They seal you down. Like my friend said before, they pump you with movies and TV shows. Eat your burgers, go home, watch the TV shows that we put on for you. Go to work, do your 40, 50 hours a week. By the time you have any free time, you don't have any energy to do anything to change the world.
Good luck.
So there are people out there like us that are willing to put some of that energy and time, like Alex Jones, like many others, Prison Planet, Drudge Report, Infowars. I mean, there's so many, and I'm telling you, it is worth it. The feeling you get by putting something good back into the people is so empowering.
Well, there you go.
I've had enough. I've spoken to people. When you know me, I work in construction. No. So what happens is often I'm out on the street.
To dreamland. You got to go back to dreamland, and you need a paycheck. How are you going to pay for the bills tomorrow? And life is getting more expensive. And
life is getting more expensive. The globalists are doing everything
crash,
right.
You have to worry about everything else: electronic signals, satellites, nuclear war, Korea, this country, that country, this politic, that politic, this person in control, that person in control.
You know, I love God, and God, according to
it's quite something.
To some teachings,
they designed this whole system to bring you down.
It teaches you that you don't need so much in life.
If you let it, the system will do what it's designed to do.
Millions of dollars.
It will bring you down.
I'm living.
It will enslave you.
I'm surviving.
It will take your consciousness and put it into a box.
Yes.
And
yes, I agree with you.
Then good luck. Then you have to break out of the box before you can actually start to affect something in a positive way.
You know, I don't want to complain too much, but I'll give you a quick rundown of how
I need to buy a condo. Where do I invest? How do I retire? All my children, what university or college are they going to go to? I need a new car.
Well, we know now already that most graduates that come out of university, first of all, the universities right now,
you're starting to see it.
They're
garbage,
putting so much propaganda and control, and they're changing the structure of the mind into a way that's not really what we need. I'm not talking about the fact that somebody went and became an engineer and studied and learned how to become an engineer, and thanks to that, now he knows how to build a starship. They'll teach him how to build a starship, but at the same time, they're going to put a control grid in his brain telling him giving this kind of technology to the people is not what we're supposed to do. So keep your starship in a box and feed the people the same malarkey they've been feeding us for thousands of years, and keep them dumbed down. We have some breakthroughs here and there. I mean, I got to give some credit to the people that actually pushed through, that brought technology into the world and are hoping that it's going to elevate the nations into the light.
Yeah, well,
there are a few. I don't want to say there is none.
Did technology really improve the quality of life for most on the planet? Technology improved the quality of life for a very few.
For a very few, I agree.
Very, very few.
I agree.
Those few are actually the people that have the intellect.
Oh, they're crushing down on the intellects.
And they're trying to maintain a small portion on the globe where they can do what they have to do. But if you flood that and you get rid of it, then we're just going back in time. We're regressing. We're going to go back to a animalistic state. We're going to go back 100 years, 200 years, 300 years, 1,000 years. That's my territory. That's my coconut. I'm going to go and get my friend and my tribe to fight over the coconut tree. Do we really want to go back to that? Or do we want to advance consciousness? And if we do, we have to realize that on the planet there's groups that are not at the same level. This is not
what I find.
Wait a minute. Let me explain this.
Take your time.
Let me
Please. Sorry,
explain
I
this.
won't interrupt. Please take your time.
This is another problem on the planet. We're not all at the same level of consciousness. So there's higher level consciousness and lower level. And amongst ourselves, it's easy for the children to fight amongst children. And that's exactly what it is.
Like brothers and sisters arguing who's gonna get the toy. Mommy bought a toy or daddy bought a toy.
It's my
Do I get it? Do I get
candy.
Hey, how about sharing it?
Wait.
How about learning to sometimes give something to your brother, and sometimes your brother will give something to you. Sometimes you don't get the whole cake and eat it. You have to share the cake.
It's more complicated because...
But you said it best when you said they program us to think as an individual,
the problem
like a vampire.
Is, the way you see it, it is true. If we were not under attack by something else, but it's obvious that planet Earth is under attack. Our consciousness as a whole, whether you're a slightly lower or very higher consciousness compared to our scale, this planet is under attack. We are being suppressed. We are being kept as cattle in a farm. So if you're the cow that's trying to jump over the fence, or you're the cow that's very happy and grazing in the middle of the agricultural farm, there's not much difference there.
You know,
the few cows that are actually trying to jump out, if you can erase those and keep everybody happy and
then you'll get a bunch of cows that never want to jump anywhere, and they'll just walk in the direction they want you to walk.
The system will
eliminate the cows that want to jump out of the cage.
Let me continue. The system will continue. The system will continue, and whatever's happening here and is hurting all the spirits and souls will continue. This trauma, this detriment, this destruction, this cycle of self-destruction on this little globe in the middle of the universe will continue. And wait, let me just interject here.
Please continue.
Some people would say that this is necessary because if a soul was born into the universe and never felt pain or hurt or trauma, how would it develop?
That's a very interesting point.
That's a very interesting aspect.
Yes. And
so is this the place where we learn trauma and pain, and is this the spot, and out of all the spots of lights that we see as little beings when we look up into the night sky, where the consciousness actually grows?
It's supposed
is
to.
This the spot?
I have my opinion, which I'll give afterwards.
Or are we being repressed?
We are being repressed.
Is there a vampirical, something that sucks the life out, which is darkness, out of the light? Is this what's really going on here?
Throughout my life,
is this what's really going on? Are we really being sucked?
Some of what my capabilities are to assess what's happening,
because
there's
goodness,
there's
goodness, and there's good people on this planet.
Exactly. And the ones that are trying to oppress that are the ones that have demonic souls, that are vampires. Now, when you meet a vampire and he's a disgusting, demonic, satanic garbage, and then you put somebody that's holy and great and amazing near him, how does that vampire feel? He feels like a piece of shit. Excuse my language.
They don't
Not that I
feel-
want to be talking this way, but that's exactly how it is. So how does the vampire feel better about himself? Let me destroy what's holy. If I eliminate everything that's holy and great in the world, then I'm the only one left. And if I'm a vampire and I'm all that's left, then that becomes the norm. And suddenly I can feel godly. But you're a piece of shit vampire, one way or the other. And you will not crush the good people of this earth, because there are good people. I've met them. I meet them every day. Every day I'm out there. I'm working. I meet people. I work in construction. I'm out there on the field. I see people. Sometimes I get to a neighborhood. Gabby, sometimes I'm in a neighborhood. I see hundreds. I see the whole neighborhood leaving through one little road. I speak to people. I see good people. I see bad people.
Wait, hold on a second here.
Okay, maybe I'm losing it a little bit here. I'm sorry.
I myself have been a vampire.
Trying to find the right words to put it together.
I took what was not mine. I lied. I
we
cheated.
all did that.
I
we all
sucked the life out of goodness. So I admit to being a vampire.
You were a vampire. Today you're not, because you wouldn't be here right now fighting the vampirical system if you were still a vampire.
Fighting that.
You obviously have personal battles. Yes, myself included.
And I guarantee what I'm saying about myself applies to other people.
100%. 100%. Honesty and truth. And a lot of times we have a hard time bringing the darkness that we had inside us. We try to present ourselves as such as a wonderful people, but we got to realize we have some darkness inside of us,
and save
we
it
need to
from
bring
the
it
darkness.
out. We need to shine light on it.
Save the spirit.
Oh, I have
from
some
the
darkness. Oh, I'm going in the wrong path, but I'm noticing it. Oh, I was a little puppet for the darkness. Or look, he was controlling me. He was trying to walk me around. Okay, I was controlled. Yes, but now I'm cutting the strings.
Well,
I'm telling the vampire to leave. I don't want to be controlled. If I continue on this path and keep listening to the fucking... Excuse my language. If I keep listening to the garbage that the propaganda is thrown in our face daily through shows, through music, through politics, through in all kinds of interactions that I can't even begin to imagine.
At the end of the day,
it will destroy us if we follow into that path. We need to break away. We need to also know that there's anchors out there.
If you
feel weak, find someone that has more strength than you. Join him. Someone that has the light in his soul that wants to come out of this darkness will be more than happy to bring you along. He'll be more than happy to give some of that energy over to you in order to empower you
the compass
for the
has
truth.
Been given to you. The compass is here. It's in your heart. It's in your gut. Let it guide you. Let it bring you to where you want to be.
You know, if we had an actual studio, I don't know if it would be allowed to smoke in it or not. But if it was my studio, I'm a smoker. I like smoking. I would smoke in my studio.
I like freedom.
So since we're in our own personal office,
freedom.
It's not to show that cigarettes is good. I don't want to tell people that smoking is good. It's killing me. I wake up in the morning.
Show people that
I can't stand it. I can't stop. I have a hard time. Maybe I haven't found the light that empowered me to quit. For now, I'm going to continue. But I just want to let you know, just because you see us smoking, we don't recommend that you start. And we don't recommend that you try it. We don't recommend that even if you're doing it and you're trying to quit, don't look at us, seeing us smoking and thinking, oh, wow, well, they're smoking. You know, that's cool. Everybody's smoking. No, it's not a cool thing. I'm doing it. It's a disease. It's part of the darkness that's got a grip on me. I'm fighting many facets of darkness in my life. Cigarettes is one of them. And I've obviously haven't demolished all of them, but I am on the path for the truth. That's what I want. I know myself, my personal opinion. I love God. Me, myself, I'm Jewish, not extremely religious. I love Christians. I love Muslims, believe it or not.